holding. I'd like to know.
Yeah, I think that is Olufemi Ademola Babarola.
Okay, and we'd like to first know. We know you are a CEO of some companies, and we'd like to first know those companies, what the names of those companies and where they are.
I'm the principal partner of Pentagon Engineering Consultants, the chairman of FB Contractors, chairman of Jogor Center, and a director with PJs.
Yes, how was it like when your growing up time? How was it like?
First off, growing up, as it concerns the growing the business.
Personally,
is it growing the business or my growing up?
Your growing up, how was it like?
Growing up as in.
Was it did you grow up from a background that was very comfortable?
Growing up, okay.
Yes.
I think I had a very humble background. But it was tough. I wouldn't say I was born with any spoon, neither silver or gold or wooden. But I would say that I have parents that provided opportunities for me, that gave me all I needed to survive and excel in life. My parents struggled and they made sure they gave me good education. So, and with that, I think with God's blessing and grace, yes.
Yes. How difficult or easy was, the starting point of your career?
Naturally, it was difficult because I left school around the time Nigeria was at its lowest ebb, the mid-80s. That was when all hopes and aspirations of the Nigerian graduates were dashed. So it was like going into the wilderness. We didn't see any hopes, but we just believed in ourselves that things would be okay.
How did you find it easy along the way?
We started quite alright. Along the line, yes, you fell down, you got up again, you fall down again, you get up again. Most of the business is like that.
So tell us how many times when you started this all of these companies, all of these businesses, how many times did you fail and you had to pick up again?
Couple of times that unfortunately I don't keep records of such things, because when you say fall down, does not necessarily mean that the business has failed or that you've run out of ideas, but when you hit some walls, you get discouraged and you sort of trying to make up your mind that I won't do this again, but something in you will just ginger you again that, my friend, just get up and keep going. Or when you hit some disappointments, or when you lose some opportunities, you will just feel that maybe I should just stop this.
How is politics in Africa? How is it affecting the economy, the growth and the development of this continent?
It is affecting it negatively because I think relatively democracy is still new in Africa. We are talking of less than 50 years. And unfortunately for us, most of the people that are formulating and implementing these policies are people that had never run businesses in their lives or never practiced in this part of the world. So they actually don't really know the integrity of the problems. And we shouldn't forget that problems are peculiar to each area. So the solutions they are applying to Nigeria's problems are not the solutions that will solve the problems. So generally, politics, I would say, for now, it's not impacting positively on businesses. But I think we are gradually moving to the time when businessmen, or let me say people that do businesses in Nigeria or in Africa, that run businesses in Africa, that have encountered problems in Africa, that have surmounted these problems, are gradually going into politics. So it's a case of replicating what you did micro in a macro way.
These days we find out that most politicians and most entrepreneurs are now going into politics. What do you think is responsible for this?
Yes, I think I have answered this question in the previous question. The truth of the matter is that everybody now feels pained that if I'm putting in so much energy and I'm doing this much and I'm not getting a corresponding results, and we all know why we are not getting it, and we feel that we should just stay by the side and keep watching. But you find out that each year you watch, each year, every succeeding year, you tend to lose more in businesses, you tend to get discouraged more, and you tend to get convinced more that wrong people are there, that people like you should go into it. Because basically the problem is that people that should not formulate or run the policies are the one running it. So people now feel that since I'm the one running these businesses, we are the people that know where the shoes pinches, where the shoes pinch. So why don't we go into it and mend these holes in the shoes?
Thank you for that. But I would also want to ask you, do you think the current economic and security challenges in Nigeria and Africa as a whole, do you think it will encourage upcoming CEOs to actually want to go this far?
Yeah, don't forget that every situation is an opportunity in itself. So even the situation as bad as it is, some businesses are thriving. Not only are some businesses thriving, some foreigners are even coming into the system to be part of the players. So what I'm saying indirectly is that not minding the situation, but that does not mean that security challenges should not be solved. That does not mean that the negative economic indices should not be made right. But what I'm telling you is that it's not enough to discourage people totally, but it is enough to want to make you feel like doing more, or changing your tactics, or changing your approach to the way you do your business.
So tell us, what are those things that you have actually done in the past? You've been into those things that you've gone into.
Engineering, basically. Engineering consultancy, engineering construction and management. The new name now is event management. We didn't know it was called event management when we started. We just wanted a place to provide a place for people to hire and use for various functions. I'm into production. That's one side people don't know. I have a company. We manufacture clean soap. It's a lovely natural soap. It's on the market. I've been doing that for some time. It's doing very well in the market. And of course, I'm into properties and estate. So that's my hobby.
So tell us shortly, what's the historical antecedents of some of these establishments, some of these things you told us that you do, especially Jogor Center? Because if you look at Ibadan, as the capital of the state, Jogor Center happens to be, I will even say, the first event center we have here before the ones came in place. What brought about that idea, to actually establish Jogor Center?
When God puts something in your mind, you want to implement it. But basically, it was I think God just wanted us to do something and to to solve a need of people, because I thought then that a time would come when people would the level of sophistication of people will extend into social reception as well. You know, either to before then people used to have functions and open spaces with tents, some ugly looking tents, and I just felt that if the taste of people, Nigerians, are getting higher by the day. Nigerians want to ride the best cars, they want to fly the best planes. The time will definitely come that they want to have their party at the next best places. They want to hold their functions at very comfortable environments. Yes.
Yes, so what advice do you have for youth, African youth basically? Because we have a lot of youths that are going through challenges of unemployment. So, you know, despite the underdevelopment in Africa, the continent, what advice do you have for young people?
What I would tell them is that they should take the bull by the horns. The so-called elderly ones will not relinquish powers to them, and they have to take the bulls by the horns. They have to fight and struggle to take charge of their destinies, and that is the truth. We have a situation where people in their late 60s, 70s are still struggling for appointments with people that just left school, and we shouldn't forget that the graduation ages now are reducing, like in those years. So there are so many areas I'm looking at, and one of them is reducing the retirement age, so as to accommodate. It's better we keep accommodating younger people, just give them opportunities. The jobs are there really, but the economy does not warrant people to employ more hands. I have an engineer in my office. I call a NEPA engineer. The reason why I did that is because there was a period in I think it was 2006 when electricity generation increased in Nigeria, and we had to employ one engineer. And I said, look, we employed you because before now we are spending about 500,000 on diesel every month. Like, we are saving this money, we should be able to use it to employ people instead of putting that money back in the bank, since we are already used to spending it anyway. You understand? So if some things are in place, I'm sure there will be opportunities for them. But going back to your question, my advice for them is that they should take the book by the hands. They should fight for space. Otherwise, nobody will do. These older ones, they won't do anything for anybody. You have to fight. And when I say fight, I'm not saying physical. I'm not saying physical fight. They just have to struggle, make sure they're in positions of authority, and they are more, so they can make laws, they can make rules, they can do things that will favor their generation.
So how do you think we can promote African economy?
What I tell people is that Africans have to trade amongst themselves. That is what we don't do. We don't have intra-trading in Africa. We need to encourage it. Whatever I'm doing, I have to be able to sell it to Kenyans, to Tanzanians, to Cape Verdeans, and I should be able to buy anything from them. What I'm saying indirectly is that the first thought on my mind, if I need anything, should be Africa, not Europe. But unfortunately, it's not like that, and that is the way it is all over Africa. Next to the country of origin on an average African, the next place on his mind is Europe or America. So until we start trading amongst ourselves, I'm sure African economy can improve.
Tell us, what are those businesses that you ventured into 20 years ago, 10 years ago, 5 years ago, and now? What are those businesses that you ventured into?
I just mentioned them. I said engineering consultancy, engineering construction and management, manufacturing, estate properties, development. So that's all.
So
Those are the things I'm doing.
So in 2 years, what should we expect from you?
In 2 years, I expect to take my businesses to another level, and probably to be in a position to make policies that will favor Nigerians.
So who is your mentor in the business world?
Honestly, I have so many of them, but as much as possible, I try not to list out names or reel out names of my mentors, because I found out that from time to time I have a change of mind. So I don't want to list names there that if you interview me next year, I will list another set of names. Because I keep seeing new people doing different things, and I keep saying, wow, this guy is fantastic. How did he think about this to make this?
So
my mentor of yesterday must have become old-fashioned. So I don't want to think about him again. I'm thinking about another person.
So what's your worth in dollars and in naira?
Is the number of staff I have. that's my worth. I can conveniently say that we are one of the private sectors that have the highest number of employees as far as Oyo State is concerned.
Like how many?
We have over 100, and we have a 4 master's degree holders, 1 PhD. We have a high number of staff.
So, sorry sir, is any of your company on the stock exchange?
No, we are not yet, except the ones. You know, when you're a shareholder, you're a business owner, except the companies that I have shares in, but there's none of them that I have a controlling shares in yet. But we are growing there gradually.
So are you aiming to be one of those richest men in Africa?
I don't know, I would love to be, because I'm working. So when you work, you want reward for what you are doing. Even in the world, I want to go beyond Africa. So
what would you like to tell an investor about African investment opportunities?
I'll tell them that it's a green field, so the opportunities are enormous. Europe is saturated, America is saturated, Asia is not settled, so the next destination is Africa, and probably Nigeria, because of the population. The opportunity is enormous. It's vast. We are green. We are just coming out from our shells. So there are so many. You can still steal idea from Europe and come and replicate it here in anything.
So sir, before the very last question, we find out that in Africa, people love to celebrate politicians rather than successful entrepreneurs. What do you think is responsible for this?
People love to celebrate
politicians rather than celebrate successful businessmen and women.
I don't know the reason for that. I know that people celebrate successful businessmen. People celebrate Dangote. People celebrate academia. If you are telling me now that people celebrate politicians, maybe for a while. Because the politicians of yesteryears, where are they now? Nobody. If I mention names of even some governors, some people don't even know them again. So I don't think so. Maybe it's a temporary celebration. I think they celebrate businessmen more, successful businessmen.
So on a final note, sir, what are your parting words?
My parting words will go to the youth, because that's my constituency too. That we should not be discouraged with whatever that is happening around us now. Rate of unemployment is high. It's very, very high, and people must go to school anyway. So that should not discourage them. They should just continue to strive hard and be diligent in whatever they are doing, and be hopeful and believe that one day one day they will cross the line.
Thank you very much, sir.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Okay, sir.
Sorry for taking my time.
It's alright.
Thank you very much.